southeast area. I'll go back to the map because it's kind of hard to tell where this is at, but it's that area 4, and it's bordered on the west by Moonlight Road and on the south by 199th. It's a very large area, 3,538 acres. This is an area we refer to as the Gardner Junction area. Gardner Junction, I might need some help, Amy, on this, but I believe it's right there. Is that right?
This is where the actual junction is, and here's where Gardner Junction Park is.
Okay, okay, got it. Okay. So this area is a large area. It's 3,700 acres. One thing that's real notable on this map, all the red dots are oil wells. So, well, you might presume by looking at a map that this has a lot of potential for residential development or other forms of development. The oil wells might be a hindrance to that. I say might because I'm not absolutely positive they're a complete obstacle to that kind of development. This area to the north is north of Gardner Lake, and this is an area of 1,000 acres. One of the difficulties of this is it's difficult to serve with sewer with the plant that we now have. My understanding is it would possibly require construction of a new sewer plant with lift stations. So that's just an overview. Those are just some maps. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions, now's a good time to have those. If not, I can go on to the next item. We just have a few updates. So the appointment process, if you've applied for a commission appointment, you have been contacted by the city and hopefully informed of how that's going and the status of that. We anticipate, at this point, I should say, that those appointments will be made by the July Planning Commission meeting, and there's a Board of Zoning Appeals meeting in August potentially. Comprehensive plan update. You might recall we shared with you the request for proposals that was drafted for that back in, I think we shared that with you in March. We issued that RFP. We ended up extending the date so we'd get a good level of interest. We didn't want to exclude anybody. We received 5 proposals. We are evaluating 3 of those 5, and we have interviews with the proposers on Thursday. So what we anticipate happening is we will work with one of those proposers to work on a scope and budget, and it could be adopted by the city, or excuse me, a contract could be entered into with that firm by August, most likely the first meeting in August of the City Council. So the general timeline is that they would begin work on that in August, September, and then have a draft comprehensive plan by the end of 2014 for the Commission's and the City Council's consideration. Some staffing changes. Currently, the Community Development Department staff has, we have an inspector, we have a plan reviewer and inspector. We have a planner to my right here. Peggy helps out a lot in community development, but she's actually an employee of Peggy Christensen is an employee of the Public Works Department. Cindy Weeks is in community development as a codes inspector, and myself. We are in the process of considering applications for the position of planning technician, and we have also advertised for a planning manager. Sign code update. About 1 year ago, Amy was the lead on a project to draft a revised sign code. The sign regulations that are currently in place have a lot of shortcomings, and Amy worked with a consultant and also, more importantly, with a citizens committee to draft a sign code. They provided the oversight of that. We are reviewing that internally now. We expect to present that or discuss that with a committee potentially as early as middle of July or by late July. And then you'll be seeing that at some point. When I came on board in February, the city was in the midst of considering a building code update, an approval of the 2012 IBC, International Building Code, International Residential Code, Plumbing Code, Electrical Code. And the city did that. They made some amendments to it to make it more workable and to make it more consistent with other jurisdictions. And the city adopted that. They went into effect April 1st. It raises a lot of questions about how certain things are going to be regulated. It is of some concern to builders because changing regulations always are, because they have to comply with new regulations. In addition to that, there are some other issues that we've identified with subdivision plats related to grading and how that's enforced through the issuance of residential building permits. And also there are some standards in the zoning code that in the past, I'm not sure how consistently they were administered. We are wanting to communicate with the people that are most affected by those or initially affected by those, which are the builders of those homes and their design professionals. And so we're holding a builders information meeting on Thursday where we'll be presenting these, responding to questions, comments, just working with people. We don't want people to be surprised. We don't want applicants to be surprised. We want the transition to work smoothly. And so that's happening on Thursday. And with that, that concludes my remarks, and I'll be happy to take any questions or suggestions.
Items for our July meeting?
When's the deadline on that?
Already passed, we didn't receive anything yet.
So it looks like we might not be having a July meeting, right?
Possibly cancel this depending on if we want to come back with a sign code or something else.
Okay. Okay.
And then we have one item that is on our August meeting already that we
That's what we expect.
tabled.
Yes, that's what we're anticipating.
Are there any other questions or comments for staff? We do appreciate the information. The more that we can get up front, the more we can take a look at it, so we do appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Commissioner Copeland, would you like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Copeland and seconded by Commissioner Lovella to adjourn the meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
All right, guys, stay real.
Yes, thank
Take
you.
care.
I thought you were making it last.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy, for to say something back in the time.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Really quick.
Hey, thank you.
Well, thank you.